On a summer evening in America's Midwest, teenagers dream of sporting glory.
What are you going to do when you grow up?
Be an NBA player and try to pass record like LeBron did.
Hometown heroes don't come much bigger than LeBron James.
LeBron is the greatest of all time. You would.
I saw only LeBron around.
I've been covering sport for nearly 30 years, and there's never been a champion like LeBron. It was sport that lifted him out of poverty and homelessness, as it has for so many others. But he was something special from the start.
Young teenage phenoms. You think about a Venus Williams, a Serena Williams, a Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant.
20 years later, he holds 4 NBA titles with 3 different teams and the all-time scoring record. But he never forgot where he came from or what it was like to struggle.
Look up, look up, look up. The struggles that he went through, he don't want anyone else to go through that.
5 years ago, he began a massive social experiment in his hometown, building a village to help its poorest families raise their kids, creating the support network he and his mother never had.
I had LeBron when I was 16, single mom. So when I see these mothers, a lot of them being single mothers, raising their children on their own, again, I go back to my experience.
He's assembled an army of true believers to tackle some of America's most intractable problems. Poverty, homelessness, anything that gets in the way of children staying in school.
The school-to-prison pipeline is definitely real.
We are there to support them, love them, and help them on their journey.
We call it the LeBron James effect.
The entire nation is watching this. The stakes are really high for him, right? Like, this is his legacy, this is reputation. He's invested all this time and energy and money, and this is his home.
But there are questions over whether this project is living up to its promises.
And so for 3 years, not one child passed the state test in math, not one, for 3 years.
This is not a sprint, this is a marathon, baby. It's a marathon, okay?
What is at stake here?
Lives. Plain and simple lives.
Ohio is what Americans in coastal cities unkindly call a flyover state. Akron used to be an industrial powerhouse, but today this city of around 200,000 people struggles with more than its share of poverty and crime. Once this was known as America's Rubber City. It's the home of the 4 big tyre makers and the Goodyear blimp. This is where Alcoholics Anonymous began, and it's where the K-12 school system was invented. Devo came from Akron. You remember them? But in 2023, if anyone knows anything about this place, they will tell you it's the home of LeBron James.
Just to know that he was in here, it gives you like a boost of energy almost.
In this gym, LeBron James and 4 friends became the best high school team in the country.
Which one's you, Willie?
Right here, then LeBron, you got Drew, you got Sheon. I like to call this Dumbo LeBron due to the ears, but don't judge me, that's a family thing. Anytime you see any of these guys in this picture, they take you right back, man.
Willie McGee is one of LeBron's oldest friends and still works with him today. As school kids, they were part of the team that became known as the Fab Five.
So we were actually all over here, the Fab Five. I think Drew, Sheon, Brian, me, Romeo over here. This was very messy over here, so me and LeBron got out of here. We call this the hood over here. We got out the hood and moved to the suburbs. And this was actually LeBron's locker. A lot of great memories here, man. and you can see how high his head is. It's amazing.
Stolen by Brandon Williams.
LeBron wasn't just athletically superior, he was selfless with perfect timing.
Take a look at that pass. I think this could be a great American dream, man. A great story. Here's a kid who has a love for his mom and with a stroke of a pen could take care of his family for life.
Look up, look up, look up.
20 years since LeBron was playing basketball in this stadium. As the coach, still doing it.
Hey, you're out of bounds. Yellow ball. Let's go.
Drew Joyce was LeBron's high school basketball coach.
I can remember we were down in our practice gym, I don't know how many years ago, and LeBron said to me, Coach Drew, I want to be the GOAT. It didn't come from a place of braggadocio. Or it came from his heart. He wanted it because he believed in the work, and he understood there's no shortcut. It's about the work.
LeBron's mother, Gloria, often struggled to keep a roof over their heads.
We came from homes that fathers weren't present. I think it gave opportunity us to bond. We had some things in common, and we loved the game of basketball.
Willie was raised by his big brother. LeBron moved in with the family of his football coach.
And tough for his mum, right?
Oh, absolutely.
To hand him over to another family, but that seemed like a turning point.
It was. I think it was a turning point for Miss Glow and LeBron, but it also allowed her to get herself together, allow her to get things in place to get LeBron back. And it takes me back to when my mom moved back up and kicked her addiction, and I was able to stay with her. It was a sense of pride and had a sense of this is how things were supposed to be. It takes a village to raise a child, man.
Very quickly they realised that LeBron James and his friends were too big for a high school gymnasium, so they came here, to the University of Akron. Capacity here is more than 5,000. They had to shut people outside. This was the show. LeBron James at high school, other NBA stars, they turned up to watch because they'd heard about this kid. He'd been on the cover of Sports Illustrated. ESPN turned up to broadcast these live games. He was still living at home with his mother, but he was negotiating a deal with Nike that would end up being $90 million. As soon as he graduated high school, bang, superstar, straight to the NBA.
He was 18 years old, playing in his home state, in the richest basketball league in the world, and almost straight away sets up a foundation to help kids in his hometown. Over the years, the LeBron James Family Foundation expanded. Its first big program gave away hundreds of bicycles.
It's more than giving away a bike, it's actually putting these kids into a program where they actually get to learn.
There were programs to help children get through school and go beyond.
I don't know if it's sunk in or what just happened just now. We're giving you guys free college scholarships.
All built on the idea of mutual responsibility.
All you've got to do is keep your promises to LeBron.
What would become the I Promise Project.
I promise to go to school, to never give up, no matter what.
20 years after the foundation began, the I Promise footprint covers central Akron. A few months ago, the first residents moved into I Promise housing, a block of 50 affordable apartments being built in a project with the local housing corporation. Nearby is the I Promise Village. This is emergency accommodation for families fleeing domestic violence and homelessness, fitted out by a national hotel chain. The I Promise Institute supports students at the University of Akron, who've earned a scholarship through the foundation by finishing high school. This year, the foundation opened this massive new community centre. Across the road, it's building a health and dental clinic. But at its heart is LeBron James's most ambitious and controversial project.
NBA superstar LeBron James and his foundation are opening this school in Akron for at-risk third and fourth graders who struggle both in school and at home.
Someone asked me, like, When you were growing up and you were in the inner city of Akron, Ohio, and so many things were happening, gun violence and drugs and things were going on, I look out in the crowd and I see a lot of my childhood friends. They're the reason that kind of stopped me from going the other way. And that's what we want to create here at this school. I can't say another word without thanking Michelle Campbell, wherever you are.
Michelle Campbell has been part of this pretty much from the start. She runs the foundation from this office in Akron, surrounded by LeBron James memorabilia.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having us.
You can have a beanbag, a couch, wherever.
All right.
Feel free to participate, but this is how we start every day. This started 16 years ago. We call it Be Best, and at our school, every classroom starts school this way too, to get ready for the day.
Great.
It's not the kind of morning meeting I'm used to.
This thing called We Are Family is real here. And the important part for the foundation is building trust and building relationships.
It might not look like it, but there's a lot going on at the start of a new school year.
Be Best sharing?
So today I need to be best. I'm working with Little Miss on a lot of family reunion stuff.
And I'm keen to see this school that I've heard so much about.
1, 2, 3. Be best.
Getting into the beanbag is easier than getting out.
We're getting ready to start our first day of school. So this grand lobby is very strategic. Everything you see here is for a reason. It's not like any other school that you enter.
It's not, no,
right?
no.
There's a reason for that. We want you to come in, maybe you had a rough night, a rough morning, and just this positive messaging is very important. So when you walk in, you just kind of feel a sense of calmness.
And the first thing I see, apart from the shoes, the I promise.
LeBron said, I promise to be a good role model for you, and you promise to work hard and keep your promises.
And it set itself one of the toughest challenges in education.
There's one thing that every student has in common when they are entering third grade, and that is that they're reading below a third grade reading level. And we rely on Akron Public Schools to do all that testing and determine who gets their name in the lottery to be selected to come to the I Promise School if they so choose. We're 100% a public school. We're funded like any other public school, and anything above and beyond that the LeBron James Family Foundation believes is needed to help service our kids and our families outside of the school day, that is on us. That's what we fund.
Behind the classrooms is the Family Resource Centre.
So welcome to our Happy Market.
This is the only school in the district with a food pantry on site.
So you open it through the holidays?
Oh yes, so we don't shut down, even during...
It's run by Victoria McGee.
Can you sort of gauge how people are living and how tough life is by the amount of people that turn up and access these resources?
Yeah, you can. Again, you might have some people that use it every now and again. If we see a family that's using it on a regular basis, then that's up to me and my team to dig deeper in those conversations. If you need to talk to our attorney, if you need to update your information on Job and Family Services, all of that can actually happen here.
The need is enormous. Almost a quarter of Akron's population lives in poverty, well above the national average. Eviction rates are among the highest in the country. And just like everywhere else in the US, gun violence has surged.
Some of our students have actually witnessed drive-by shootings. We've had domestic violence. Some dads that are incarcerated. We have had moms and dads that have had, unfortunately, experiences with some substance abuse. The school-to-prison pipeline is definitely real. If you don't provide academic resources and supports, as well as wraparound supports, you can go one way or the other way.
The foundation spends nearly $1.5 million a year at the school on staff and facilities, but it also gets a lot of outside help.
We got body wash, we got razors, shaving cream.
Whatever they need.
Whatever they need.
Walmart is one of the many big corporations only too happy to get on board. The payoff is a solid gold PR moment for the CEO.
Being able to step in and help make that even bigger and better is something we're really pumped about.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We get a lot, oh, you can do this here because you have LeBron James, and we do. We're the LeBron James Family Foundation. But he is one man, and he's provided a spotlight on our work because of who he is.
So where'd you grow up? What part of Akron?
2.5 miles from where I Promise is now.
Jessica Pointer is a senior education policy analyst at Ohio's Thomas B. Fordham Institute.
To the best of my knowledge, I can't think of anything else that's like this. So it's really just one of a kind thing that's happening in Akron that I think is really powerful.
Do you like the wraparound services?
On a personal level, I love it. I think every kid deserves like clean clothes and new shoes. Every kid deserves like a full belly and food. Health checkups and mental health services, like those are things kids need. That's like a moral imperative that I think the foundation has done a really amazing job of stepping up and saying, you know what, there are kids in this community that don't have things that they deserve, and we're gonna fill those needs.
In its first year, the new school's results were extraordinary.
Something like 90% of kids met or exceeded their growth goal. That meant that I Promise was on the way to kids kind of like catching up to their peers, which is really impressive.
5 years on, those first third graders are beginning their last year before leaving for high school. And every I Promise school year begins here.
It's our family reunion, so we look forward to this day so that we can all come here and have fun, hang out together, ride rides.
I want to go upside down. That's all I know.
Lariah was a third grader struggling with reading when she went into the first I Promise ballot 5 years ago.
I didn't like no subjects, to be honest with you. I didn't like reading because it was a lot of words and I don't know what the words mean or know how to pronounce them. So I would just like put it aside and like I would get frustrated. And then during quarantine, somewhere around that time, I had really got into reading books.
I know that she doesn't believe it, but she is way more confident than she's ever been in herself.
Her mum, Sierra, was also struggling.
So when she first got drafted into the school, I kind of was a mess. I was behind on bills. I was suffering from PTSD and anxiety and depression. I had been in trouble when I was way young. I was a 19-year-old kid. I had got into trouble, and we went through the process of getting my record expunged. Once that happened, then it was like literally one thing after another, one offer after another, each better than the last, you know.
Lariah is one of the first cohort of students to go through the school from beginning to end. Next year, she'll go on to a regular public high school.
I don't want to leave, I promise. Even when I be complaining how I don't want to go, but when it comes to like the end of the year, I'm gonna cry and complain how I want to stay.
It's a big year for the foundation. It's just opened another project. House 330 is a massive complex, once again, built with the help of Fortune 500 companies.
It's a way for the foundation to generate revenue so we can support the school and our village and our health quarters and our institute financially long beyond our years. but we're going to provide this new model of how you can really employ people.
There are more than 50 I Promise family members employed here.
Good morning, Chef. Hey, morning. How are you?
Great, yourself?
Good.
One of them is Lariah's mum, Sierra.
I'm 39 years old and I've had many jobs, but never anything like this.
You have to be trained in every area. Event management, serving. So if you get a call that you have to pick up your child, you can go get your child and someone can move around and make sure your work is covered so you don't lose your job. We're all in this together.
Busy is good. I don't feel like I need to pick and choose between my family and my work life.
Excuse me, Sue, sorry.
As a mom, we pour and pour and pour into our children and our families, and then like there's really not much left to pour into yourself. But with the foundation and all of the people connected to it, they pour back into me and they make sure that I am full enough to take care of my responsibilities.
For Megan, I have a brown sugar shaken oat milk espresso.
Does it make you view the future in a different way?
Absolutely, like I can breathe in a way that I haven't been able to breathe in a long time, you know, because it's like they make it easy.
Today, House 330 is hosting a back-to-school event. And right in the thick of it is LeBron's mother, Gloria. I guess you will probably look at young mothers here, 16-year-old mothers, teenage mothers like you were.
Yeah, I had LeBron when I was 16, single mom. So when I see these mothers, a lot of them being single mothers, raising their children on their own, again, I go back to my experience. LeBron, when he sees the kids, he goes back to his childhood. We've lived these lives.
Tell me what it's like for you to come here and watch all these people coming together in Akron.
You know what it tells me and shows me is that our dream of bringing our community together is realized. The fact that we can help the kids go back to school with backpacks and school supplies warms my heart. I remember the days when I had to prepare for back to school, and sometimes were tougher than others. And I only wished I had this type of event to help me with that.
How much can you do from here?
Oh, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
We really don't see a limit. It's a lot of hard work. We've been fortunate that our city, like mayor and other organizations and corporations have also jumped on board.
Today, it's a major bank donating school supplies. The foundation believes it's developed a new model of philanthropy.
LeBron is always hoping that other players, other professionals, other artists, actors, all those who are on a platform, a large enough platform, that they take this or come to us and ask us how to, incorporate this in their cities.
More than 1,000 children have been through the I Promise program in its various forms. It now takes in 120 new students every year.
The entire nation is watching this. Whether it's fair or not, what happens and how the outcomes come out for these kids, people are going to use this as a proof point of whether or not the model that they're using is beneficial.
The I Promise model is still an experiment. And just days before the start of term, there was a bombshell when the school's latest academic results were presented to the governing board.
And so for 3 years, not one child passed the state test in math, not one, for 3 years.
It is discouraging.
Okay.
If my child started at 3rd grade at I Promise, and they were 2 grade levels behind, if they spent 5 years at I Promise, I would not expect them to leave 8th grade still 2 years behind, right? I mean, and that's what it looks like is happening.
We've had 4 different principals in 3 years. We said that this was for the long term. And I challenge you, and I challenge anybody to go out there and find another comparable organization doing this work, and it's going to be hard to find.
At the next board meeting, the foundation went on the attack.
Absolutely, it was hurtful for the LeBron James Family Foundation, but more importantly, detrimental to our students, the things that they said and the way that they had to feel. That this is not a sprint, this is a marathon, baby. It's a marathon, okay?
This board is not seeking to target the I Promise school. At day's end, the goals of all this is to optimize performance in our buildings.
LeBron James has achieved success other athletes could only dream of. But public education is a different game.
The first instinct of pretty much everybody that I talk to is always like, LeBron should be doing more. Why isn't he stepping in? Why isn't the foundation stepping in? And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't know what they could do, because this is a district school, and so really what you have is they're running into this like behemoth that all the rest of education reform has been running into for years.
How long are you invested for?
Beyond my lifetime, forever. That's the commitment we made. We made a commitment that we were, this work takes a long time. And that's why I will not let any of our students be judged by one test score. They have so much more to offer this world, and it is my job and it is our job to keep them believing in that.
The next 2 or 3 years are gonna be really big. Because what you're gonna end up having is these kids are graduating from I Promise and they're going into high schools. And they're gonna start graduating from high school. And then you're gonna have even more outcomes of like, are these kids graduating? Are they going to college?
It's called the I Promise Institute. It's got places to study, get a snack in between classes, get some coffee.
The foundation already has students in college on nearly 100 scholarships awarded to kids like Matt and Maya, who kept their promise to finish high school.
Usually I come in here to study for.
And this is one of the only free places to print too.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to afford to go to college any other way. I would have had either gone to like cosmetology school and done hair, or do something other than college.
In 3rd grade, I had a low reading score and low income, and we were sent out the packets, and I'm like, the LeBron James Family Foundation, that sounds cool, and they started giving me stuff, and I really didn't know that it was for me because I had a low reading score.
I didn't have the best upbringing, which is a lot of the people in the LeBron program. My parents didn't have money. We went through different homes and different lifestyles and craziness. And now I'm able to be out of that toxic environment and able to focus on myself because of the LeBron program.
So we should be looking, as Michelle says, beyond those test scores.
Yeah.
If I stopped it right there, I wouldn't become who I am now, and I read great now. So
Yeah, you wouldn't be.
Some people learn slow, some people learn fast. Yeah. It just matters where they get in the end.
Yeah, he wouldn't be in college based on that score, and I'm pretty sure he does better in college than I do.
I came here knowing a lot about LeBron James, the trailblazing basketballer. But I didn't quite understand the depth of his connection to Akron, to home. I'm fascinated to see where he can take this experiment, which feels to me like it's just getting started.
We want to help. It does you good. We don't plan on stopping. We don't plan on stopping.
He helped his community, his hometown, and I go here, his school, and I love it. Jordan ain't never did nothing for, like, he never made no apartments, he ain't make a school, none of that. He's just famous.
I just hope he keep on doing it for as long as he can.